Hi, I'm Grace Judson, as always, self-proclaimed proud leadership geek, and I am here to talk to you about all things management and leadership, especially for first-time managers, newly promoted managers. And if that is you, you are probably feeling a lot like one of my clients who threw her hands up in the air one day and said, "My entire world has been turned upside down." And I get that. And if that sounds like you, take heart, because in this video, I'm going to cover the 5 most common mistakes first-time managers make, and of course, to give you some tips on how to avoid making them. I am really glad you're here because my focus in these videos is to give you relevant and useful leadership advice when you are making that transition point from being an individual team member to being a manager, a team lead, a supervisor. So you will want to subscribe if you have not already, and if you have, thank you, and hit the little notifications bell so that you'll be informed when I publish a new video every week on Wednesdays. Okay, so let's get into this, because the really tough thing about being a new manager is that it is very different from what you've been doing throughout your career lifetime as an individual team member. Like my client said, it's upside down. And I was in management and leadership myself for over 16 years before I started my coaching business and training business in 2005. And I have helped many clients understand how to make that transition, how to learn to manage, supervise, and lead with confidence and success. I get it. I really get it, because I went through it myself, and I have been working with clients and students to help them get through it for quite a while now, right? Okay, so I promised 5 things. Thing 1, failing to delegate. Let me guess that that might be one of your biggies right now. And if it is, leave me a comment down below. You can just say yes, or you can give me an example of how it is hard for you, what it is that you're struggling with in it. Here's the thing. If you've been an individual team member or team player all through your career lifetime up until now, you've been responsible for doing the task list, right? But now you need to manage a group of people. They need to be doing the tasks. And yes, there are undoubtedly still some that you will do, but you need to learn how to figure out who is the best person to delegate to and how to delegate to them. And I do have a video on that here on my YouTube channel, and the link for that will be down below in the description, and you can watch that to learn more about delegating. Okay, thing 2, being too nice. Especially if your team is made up of people that you knew before your promotion, and maybe you worked side by side with them on the same team, it is hard to switch over into being their manager. And yeah, it's like, can I still go out to happy hour with them? Am I allowed to continue to be friends with them? The danger here is that in trying to stay friends, trying to continue being the good guy, because I think we've all seen instances where people get promoted and all of a sudden it's a Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing, right? And I actually have an article on that too, which I will also leave down below, the link to it. We don't want to be that manager. We want to still have good relationships with the people that we manage. But at the same time, you are responsible for managing them and making sure that the right things get done in the right ways on the right schedule. So you can't always be the nice guy. Now, on the flip side of that, thing 3, being too stern or too strict. Maybe you think you have to be the boss in order to get people what you need them to do. Probably not. You know, there are always people who are going to be a little challenging, and I have a whole video series on that, which I will also link to down below. But in general, being matter of fact, people typically at least, want to do the right thing. They want to do a good job. So you don't need to crack the whip. You just need to let people know what needs to happen and when it needs to happen by, and then hold them accountable for it, of course. Okay, thing 4, getting stuck in what is called imposter syndrome or fraud factor. Here you are, you have been promoted, and there is probably at least part of the time a little voice in your head that is saying, they're going to find out I have no clue what I am doing. And in some ways, it's true that you don't really know exactly what you're doing. Welcome to the world of leadership, but also welcome to the world of having everything turned upside down, like that client I mentioned way back in the beginning of this video. So don't get stuck there. The thing about confidence in any new activity is that we can't wait until we have confidence in order to move forward. We have to move forward without it, and we gain confidence as we do so. So the more you can learn on your own by witnessing other people, by studying books, watching these videos, the more you will get confident in what you are doing, the better you will do it, and the more confident you will get, and it becomes what's called a virtuous circle. Okay, finally, thing 5, forgetting to see the big picture, otherwise known as strategic thinking. Strategic thinking, when I did an informal poll of a number of executive leaders, CEOs, executive coaches, the number one thing they all said that they wished new managers knew more about and would focus more on is strategic thinking. How do you look at the big picture of where what you and your team are doing fit in to the overall goals of your department, your division, your company? It is a big topic, and it is one that takes time to learn. And I encourage you, I know it's probably not number one on your list of things to learn because there's so much going on for you, whether it's in terms of learning this new role or in terms of just everything that has to happen for your team. But I really advise you to do research on what strategy is, how to think strategically, and how that would apply specifically to what you are doing. I do think I need to do another video on strategic thinking, although it probably won't be the most popular for all the reasons I've just listed, but it is a very important thing for you to learn as you move into management and leadership and anticipate additional promotions as you grow in your leadership skills. So, couple more resources for you. One is that I do have an ebook on managing difficult employees. I have already mentioned those playlists on management and leadership that I will leave links for, and a few other things. All those links are down there in the description. You will probably have to click you will certainly have to click the see more link in order to actually see where those links fall in the video description down below where you are watching this. Finally, if you like this video, please let me know. That helps me know how to keep moving forward with making more videos that will be useful to you. So like it, subscribe, share it with your colleagues, and also so I know where to focus my videos, what topics on, leave me a comment, ask me a question. Which one of these 5 sounded most true for you? Or are you wrestling with something else that I might be able to help with? Put your question in the comments, let me know, and I will get back to you, I promise. Take care.